Okay, sorry, this is going to be part two because I clicked the button because I had to go check on my grandson. Anyway, okay, so the secret spendthrift syndrome is basically you're out here and you're living this lifestyle and um, you have all of these nice things. You have the nice cars, you have the nice clothes, you have all of these wonderful aspects of what you look like on the outer parts, but inside, secretly, you are broke. This lady was baroque, okay? So she had an income of 57,000 a year and had $8,000 in debt. Her income puts her at the top of the top 2% of the African American earners, women earners, and her debt burden isn't outrageously high. Still, Corliss shifted uncomfortably in her chair and through our first session. Other than a small 401k retirement plan, she had no significant assets. Oh, so this is here it is. She was renting her apartment, leasing her car, renting her apartment, leasing her car. And although she considered herself a homebody and no big time spender, her paycheck barely covered her total expenses. She didn't know where her money was going and was afraid she wouldn't have enough to live after retirement. So this is where there was another girl, I think in chapter two, that was broke, but whatever. So while she presented a confident image to the world, she admitted, I'm very embarrassed by my financial situation. She says, I'm 46 years old, but I feel like a little child. Up until now, I've never been willing to face my finances because it's so uncomfortable. I just figure if I look good, everybody will think I'm okay. That was me. If I look good, everybody just, oh, Trina's fine. She's okay. She's fine. She's okay. She looks good. She's fine. Secretly, I am broke. Okay. My debt is out of this world. My debt almost matches my yearly income. Okay. She said, I figure if I look good, everybody would think I'm okay. She says, I got tons of clothes and I feel really good to shop. It feels really good to shop. But usually by the time I get home, I feel terrible and get an awful headache. It's a vicious cycle and I'm stuck in. She said, what's wrong with me? Okay. So, secretly you spend. Then the financial roots, where does that come from? So, reading in chapter one, where she talks about her parents and how her dad took things, um, her dad things did things in her home. Um, my upwardly mobile path as a young professional, she gets into this profession. So, love, all of these things correlate. So, chapter one, living in virtual prosperity to maintain an image of success. To be fair, the seeds of her financial problems have been planted long before she met Jeffrey. For years, she said, I had stable employment. She was a bank executive. She's earned a good income, maintained good credit, and her own apartment and car. Still, she was living paycheck to paycheck. How many of us are doing that right now? Still living paycheck to paycheck instead of creating a comfortable life below her means. Um, so, what does that mean to live below your means? That means, like for me, well, for most, it's we got to kind of find a happy medium. Going to the grocery store rather than going out to eat, buying in thrift stores rather than going buying high-end stuff. Because a lot of the things you find in thrift stores are a lot of the high-end products that we would probably normally never. Um, oh, you want some more? All right, guys, listen. Y'all know I'm very real. I'm very candid. Um, he wants some candy. So anyway, living above your means. Okay, there you go. Let me take that off. Okay, there you go. What do you say? Say thank you. All right. Uh, so she had a debt burden. So this the beginning of it just talks about how she got to where she is today. Um, and she hit rock bottom. And then she went to a therapist and she had to really understand. And that's one of the things I don't want you guys to really think about. Go to therapy, really kind of navigate where things started. Okay. So I know I had to go to therapy and everything started with my mother. Everything that I have experienced in my life, every trauma, everything started with my mom. There's never a time when I was going to therapy that I would try to have a conversation and my mother never just bubbled up inside of me. So go to therapy, really figure out where it comes. So the making of a financial recovery, um, why this book is for Black women, how to use the book. So I want to get to that part. So, how to use the book. To begin financial healing, it is important to let go of negative energy by forgiving yourself and anyone else from whom you might be harboring feelings of blame. Remember, to her ex-husband, she said she had accumulated together $50,000 in debt that made her slow down to forgive him and herself. She said, but I did it eventually. When I paid off the last debt from the relationship, she said she felt this glorious sense of relief and accomplishment that restored her self-confidence. She said, um, she said, I keep it foremost in my mind. However, that compulsive debting is an addictive and compulsive as drinking. To remain debt free, she said she must take it one day at a time. With God's help and conscientious efforts to keep my money straight, I know I could do it. I no longer have intense regrets about financial chaos. She said I created my life because it gives me the opportunity not to only find my own way back, it gives me a new and productive life as a financial recovery specialist with the expertise to help so many with other people help themselves. She said, I have a lot to be thankful for. I dearly love the work, whatever. But help the work of helping people change their lives and find financial peace of mind. Chapter one, she said, this chapter you are reading is one of the first chapters in the part one, preparing your mind for financial success. The next two chapters in this section focus on guiding you through your own internal psychology inventory about your relationships with money. Then this focusing will help you identify beliefs and emotions that sabotage your financial success and use its exercises and tools like a genogram to analyze and evaluate money messages you have inherited from your family. She said, I think of this internal work as software to my program to get your money straight. So we have to start with the inside to be able to focus on the outside. Part two, seven prescription of financial health and healing integrates a um, software with the hardware and provides a practical framework of basic money management procedures, proven cash management and debt management tools, and strategies that can enhance your economic future. If you commit yourself to this system, I'm going to say it again. If you commit yourself to this system and exercises in this section of the book, um, you will be able to, one, recognize and move through counterproductive ideas you may have developed about money, focus on why you held these views and change your thinking before thinking for the better, become aware of of exactly how much money you need to meet your basic needs and live comfortably. Learn to use effectively the recommended tools and techniques for keeping track of your finances, pay off your debts, remain debt free, and make it a habit to save and invest money for your future. Part three is getting it straight, is the concluding section of the book. It points you toward inspirational examples of sisters who have gone the whole 9 yards, finding financial peace of mind and increasing personal net worth beyond their dreams. She said in the book, she'll be coaching you through a series of exercises that will help you master one piece of financial healing program. She said, I strongly recommend that you keep the papers on which you do these exercises so that you can look back on them periodically to chart your growth and progress. You might want to set aside a brightly colored folder marked Girl, Get Your Money Straight and keep it on your home desk. So listen, little homie, keep it on your desk or work table. Put a photograph of yourself in happy times on the cover with a big smile. You might even want to tuck a folder in your briefcase and keep it with you in your car or on the bus or subway, whatever. When you're tempted to go out for an expensive lunch or stop off on the way home to buy a new outfit for a bad day, you'll be able to put it out and tell yourself, honey, you've got better things to do with your money. Besides, there's no better motivator than a glance back at how far you've already come. There are three key things that she'd like you to keep in mind as you start off down the road of financial healing. One, be accepting of yourself and your present circumstances. Okay. Courageously examine your prior financial actions or inactions, knowing you can move forward from where you are now only by making change. Two, be grateful for your life's lessons. How often do you hear somebody say, thank God the past due electric bill has a 24-hour notice and disconnect? Probably never. Typically, we don't like such crisis as blessings. We don't look at such crisis as blessings. But if you do, you'll see that you can serve as timely as a wake-up call to tighten up your game. Three, be patient with yourself. Changing your habits from unconscious consumptions with conscious wealth building takes time. Measure your progress from month to month using the strategies and suggestions in this book. And don't forget to give yourself a mental and spiritual reinforcement, an important part of holistic financial healing process. You ready? Okay. So the exercise I did give to you guys in the beginning when I mentioned this book to you guys. So the first exercise is meet your money. Okay. So this exercise says, I want you to have a heart-to-heart conversation with one of your most intimate companions, your money. Conduct the dialogue with it as if you were a person. Yes, that's right. If it were a person, put your pen to paper and write it down until you've said everything you can say. You might want to do this in the form of a letter or maybe as entries in your private journal. Include your observations, your feelings, concerns, issues, and fears about money. Write down every idea that comes to mind, positive or negative. Then, when you've said it all, ask your friend Money to reply. Write Money's answer and continue the conversation until you and Money have made peace. How will you know that you've made peace? When you suddenly feel lighter, like a load only you knew where you were carrying seems to have risen from your shoulders. It's easy enough to talk, talk to ourselves and others about our money problems. What's more difficult is secretly admitting to ourselves what money really means to us, whether you see it as something that makes you feel important, validation with our otherwise humdrum existence, and windfall to do with as we wish, or a responsibility for which we are accountable. Her client, Shauna, got a real quick kick out of doing this exercise. And so here's what her conversation was. It says, Dear Money, I thought you grew on trees. It's been a long, hard lesson to realize, but now I know you don't. Sometimes I treated you like water, thinking you were flowing from everywhere. Then I got this crazy, horrible feeling when you dried up, that feeling of deprivation. Why? Why you are as important as you are. Didn't they didn't they teach a class on you when I was in school? I could have learned to understand your influence at an early age, not in my mid-30s. You are so powerful. Money says, Dear Shauna, all I am is energy. You should use me like you use all energy. I'm just energy. I wish you would get that word out. I wish you could get the word out that I'm not good or evil. I'm not here to hurt or cause pain. I'm here to assist you. And I wish you wouldn't use me as an excuse to cover up the stuff or issues that's really bugging you. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I need to tell you. Need I tell you? Your weight, your insecurities, your relationships, your daddy, your mama, white men in corporate America, food. Need I go on? Stop using me to solve your issues around these things. Shauna says, Wow, you really know how to hurt a girl. She said, Oh, yeah, I know you said you weren't here to hurt me. Thanks for the advice. I'm going to try to improve my relationships with you. I'm going to love and appreciate you and stop taking you for granted. If I can do these things for you, Money, I can do them for myself. Thanks. Okay. So then it gets to chapter two. So chapter one, that's the first part of the book. And the book that just gives you, she just breaks down. where how this is going to work, how it's going to start for you. So I wish you guys the best. I hope next Sunday that we'll all get together and be able to talk about um, those things. Your homework, write the letter. Okay, so write the letter. And when you read through the book, it'll give you the logistics of like some lessons, some things that she talks about. And then I would like to have maybe three key takeaways that you guys got from chapter one. And then next Sunday we'll review those and then we'll go into chapter two. Um, so if you guys get the book, let me know. If you don't, we'll just figure something out. But you can get it on Amazon. I got mine on Barnes and Noble through Nook. And it was cheaper in Nook than it would be for you to purchase. So however you want to do it. Um, I think this is a time where we need to start really taking control of ourselves, our lives, our money, our relationships, because every part of us, um, it's a connection. And so when we're broke, we just feel like we're not worthy of a good relationship because our debt is bad or, debt is bad. And so we just feel like we can't do a lot of things. I know that's how I feel for myself is a lot of things that I would like to do, I can't. Um, I want to be able to save thousands of dollars. And it's like, how do I even start when I have all of this stuff looming over me? So I have to learn to live below the means and really balance what I'm spending, how I'm spending, where I'm spending, and really get everybody on board in my family. So you have your exercise, meet money, and then I would like to have three key takeaways that you found in the chapter one. Um, when you get to chapter two, we'll next Sunday we'll go over chapter one, and then we'll start discussing chapter two. One thing I wanted you guys to understand is we will not be here all day. So we are not going to sit here. We're not going to chop it up. We are going to really set a time frame, and we're going to be consistent. So from 9 to 11, I did say 11:30, but from 9 till 11, we're going to talk about the book. We're going to discuss the this little boy here. Anyway, so hopefully next week I won't be babysitting. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about those things. We're going to get those together. Um, so hopefully we'll see you guys next Sunday and get the book. Like I said, it's on Amazon. You can get it on um, Nook and things like that. Okay. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And let me know how the week goes with your spending.